Is there COVID in heaven? Is there a pandemic? Does everybody wear a mask in heaven? There's no, heaven is God's perfect manifestation of his will. If you want to know what God's will is, take a look at heaven. Because if it was God's will for you to be sick, come on, then you'd be sick in heaven. If it was God's will for you to be suffering and in pain and in torment, then you'd have that in heaven, but that's not his will. How do I know what his will is? Take a look at heaven. So what does Jesus pray? Lord, your will be done on this earth like it's done in heaven. So that leads me to ask another question. Is God's will always done on earth? Why not? Because we get in the way, right? Because man has a will. Now, you ask some people, and they'll say, well, yeah, God always gets his way. You know, hey, there's a pandemic, but that's okay. God's still in control. What does that mean? God's controlling this pandemic? He's causing all this nonsense? No, he doesn't do that. God's will, what that means is God's will is not always done on earth. But how did Jesus say to pray? Lord, your will be done on earth just like it is in heaven. So I want to think about this for a minute. I want to talk to you about this because if God's in control, like so many people think he is, because see, you ask some people, they'll say, no, God's in control. And ultimately, yes, God's in control of this earth because one day he's going to come down and take over. Okay, it still belongs to him. But for right now, he's given this earth to man. And I want to show you this. I know so many of you are familiar with this, but I want to just start from ground zero for a little bit, okay? And let's build on this. Go to Genesis chapter 1 for a second. And in Genesis 1, you see what God does with the earth, right? He creates the earth. He creates everything in the earth. He makes man. And what does it say in verse 27? God created man how? In his image. He put a representation of himself in the earth. Man was created to be God's image, God's representation on this earth. And he said he blessed them. And he said, be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth, and do what? Subdue it. And then do what? Rule. Rule over the earth. Rule over everything in the earth. So did God say, hey, Adam, I'm putting you in the earth so I can be in charge? No, he put Adam in charge of the earth. Now, Adam was supposed to be connected to God. God came down in fellowship with Adam every single day in the garden because that way he could express his will to Adam for Adam to carry out on the earth. So man was put in charge of the earth, okay? So listen, when God sets something up, he put rules in place. And when we say God can do anything he wants to, in essence, yes, he can. He's powerful enough to do anything he wants to do, but he never violates his own rules. He does not violate the law. The devil does that. The devil comes in and stirs things up and does whatever he wants to do, but God does not violate his rules. So who did he put in charge of the earth? Man. Now man fell, but it did not change who's in charge. God did not put himself in charge of the earth. It was given to mankind to rule. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope it ministered to your spirit today. And let me tell you, if you want to see more videos from us, be sure to hit the like button or the subscribe button. And also, we're live every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Hope that you can join us. Hey, keep living the abundant life that Jesus called you to live. God bless.